Well, as I promised, I'm continuing with the story of Moses, which starts by reference to his parents who, by faith, refused to arrange for their son to be slaughtered. Moses was born into a terrible circumstance. He was born the son of slaves. What a place to be born. And at a time when the Pharaoh had said, let all the boys be slaughtered, because the nation was growing stronger and larger within Egypt and becoming a threat as far as Pharaoh was concerned. And they refused to slaughter their boy by faith. It's interesting. Hebrews 11 is full of incredible statements like, by faith they passed through the Red Sea. By faith the walls of Jericho fell down. By faith they grew strong in warfare, and so on. These two, by faith, refused to kill their boy. Unusual reference to faith. But not only refused to slaughter him, but the miracle of putting him in a wicker basket and floating him in the Nile and then receiving him back. You remember the story. They had the privilege of raising him. And I think what we must really note is they passed on to him a vision. And that's remarkable, really. And it's a challenge to us as parents, not just simply to give our kids a list of do's and don'ts. You know, they're not allowed to do this, you're a Christian, and so on. But what they must have gripped him with was an amazing vision. You know, God has promised us an amazing relevance in world history. God spoke to our forefather Abraham. God said we would provide to the world the answer to the world's need. The Christ would come from that Jewish nation. And actually said to Abraham, you will go in slavery for 400 years. And of course that means that would end and they would come through. And they must have been visionary parents, okay? So that's the thing I pick up from this morning's talk, that as parents, we're not simply to give rules and regulations, but to pass on an exciting vision to our children. You know, it's not just a hobby that we go to church. Our kids might not like your hobby. They might think, I don't want a hobby of going to church. We need to be evidently people who live with a glorious vision, excited about God's plan, that the church holds history in its hands. The church is amazing. Jesus is the answer to world history. We know Jesus. We need to capture the heart of our children with a glorious vision. We must pass on vision to our kids. It's exciting to do that. I'm so grateful in God's mercy. We had 5 kids and we tried to pass on a vision, an exciting vision, something worth giving your life to. Not simply rules and regulations. I really believe that by faith they imparted vision, although their circumstances looked really bad, but they were believing parents. It's a great privilege to be the child of believing parents. God help us to pass on vision to our kids.